You do a lot, but we know you set that bar high. So we have ways today to help make you more productive, more efficient, no matter how you choose to spend your time. We're sharing strategies to help you improve your hustle and improve your life too. Corporate recruiter Carly Hazen is joining me. I've been singing all morning. Every day I'm hustling, right?
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
The word hustle is super, I hate to say trendy, but it is. It's really popular right now. A lot of women have a side hustle. They have a side business, a side job.
Get your hustle on.
Get your hustle on. Every day we're hustling. Here's my question. Improving your hustle. Does that mean working harder or does that mean working smarter or both?
It's a great question. I think it's a bit of both because you can only work so hard to get ahead, right? So when you talk about yourself in a professional sense or really trying to achieve something bigger than yourself, at some point you're going to need to work smarter because you can only log so many hours and we're only capable of doing so much in a day, right?
We're all human.
Yeah, and I read an interesting study that talked about chess players, right?
Fascinating.
Not synonymous necessarily with hustle, but I thought it was really interesting because the Grandmaster chess champions, they say, is it the hours that you log playing chess that makes you a better chess player? And they say you can only log so many hours. With expert chess players, it's the hours of study, along with like serious study along with that. And I thought that's so interesting because when you think about, from a professional sense, getting ahead, you're working professionally and then a lot of people are taking night classes, right? Or learning a new technology program or doing something to educate and elevate themselves along with hard work. Because when you look at the people at the top of their game, they're dedicating serious study as well as serious work ethic. So that's where I think the marriage of work harder, work smarter.
Not just the hands-on effort, though.
Absolutely.
The brow sweat.
It's your mind, too. It's being mentally engaged and trying to improve yourself from a mental standpoint because that really controls what you do in terms of busy.
And along with that, you insert the word creative, carve out creative time. How does that pay off?
Well, that's kind of what I think we're getting to when you talk about smarter. Creative time, it's such a human need to create, and it will allow your mind time to wander, right? It keeps your mind fresh. It keeps your motivation levels high, and it gives you time to really engage and kind of mentally correct yourself. And then you're ready to actually do the physical component, right? Once you set your mind at rest. And I think creative energy too, it does a lot for your soul. Yeah. And it gives you time. I'm sure a lot of moms spend a lot of creative time doing Valentine's boxes. But it's really, really good to, I think, engage your kids and your family on a creative level because you can, like we say, you can only work so hard.
So speaking on the mom front, the other day I was in a major mom moment, right? Where everybody needed me in 10 different ways at the same time.
Right.
And my husband happened to pipe in and say, because I was mid-conversation with him, and he goes, "You're squirreling a lot lately." And I said, "My whole life is a squirrel."
My whole life's a squirrel.
I've got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and my whole life is a squirrel. Yeah. But in that vein, Carly, how can we avoid those distractions from cutting into our productive time?
That's the worst part, is eliminating distractions. And I think that you have to, if you notice that it's happening on a really obscene level, you have to eliminate distractions without mercy. And sometimes that's eliminating text notifications. Sometimes it's silencing your phone. Sometimes it's unsubscribing from every single unwanted email. Whatever it is, and I keep bringing up social media because I think for me that's my greatest distraction.
Huge, yeah.
Because not only are you taking time away, to engage in distracting behavior, which is really, if you notice, I don't know if it's the same for you, but it's usually the least satisfying. The things we get extracted by, once you engage in that, it doesn't satisfy, it doesn't fulfill, it doesn't usually even make you feel better or engaged, right? Intellectually or otherwise. So I think not only is the time eliminated in engaging that, but then it takes so much ramp-up time to get back and focused on productive activities. So eliminating those distractions is huge if you want to. I mean, you look at habits of highly successful hustlers. They are so lean and so driven, and they don't engage in that type of activity.
They're
because
focused.
and it's such a slippery slope because there are some days where you really just feel like all you did was stumble through the day eliminating distractions and engaging in distracting behavior, and it doesn't feel great to not be productive.
As women, do you think we try to do it all ourselves too often?
Yeah, of course, all the time. So I think another important part of people who have really learned to hustle and really work smarter as well as harder, collaborate. They rely on a network, and they aren't afraid to ask for help, and they aren't afraid to go outside themselves. But you look at too as collaboration as not just a way to kind of re-engage yourself, but I think it's really an incredible way to it's a vehicle to get super creative because, again, we're talking about the mind as well as the body. You notice it a lot in music. You'll see like a country star engage with a rap star or someone from the hip hop community, and it's re-energizing. And sometimes you think that's such an odd pairing and such an odd collaboration. but it really works, and it makes someone creatively step outside of their comfort zone to do things, again, bigger and better than themselves.
I love that. This sounds counterintuitive, but you say fail and fail often. How does that help us get ahead?
This is my favorite point because for me, this is a personal area of struggle, the perfectionism, right? And I read a lot about it, and it's really incredible. You've probably heard the quote, failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of success. I also read another really great quote that talked about failure is a bruise, not a tattoo.
I
loved that.
A bruise, not a tattoo.
Yeah, and bruises show that you're in the game. Like you're willing to play, right? Yep. You're willing to engage, and I just found that really powerful. I talk to my kids a lot about it. Like it's not that you're trying to get every single math problem right. It's that you're trying. You're showing your work, right? You're showing your thought process. And I think, yeah, you fail and fail often and fail hard, and every single step of failure gets you closer to what you're striving for.
And it's something to be proud of because, again, you're engaged, you're out there, you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think failure, I mean, I kind of live by the motto that it's better to try and to fail than to do nothing impeccably.
Amen.
And I'm really good at doing nothing flawlessly. So I think if you can just say to yourself, better to just kind of not wait until everything's perfect, not wait until you're ready. Just engage and give it your best. You'll improve your hustle because you're trying.
I meet you there, sister. Great conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Ways
to step up, improve our hustle.